guys! Today we're getting ready to go on the Riverboat Twilight in LeClaire, Iowa. We're going to be in the boat all day cruising down the river. We're going to end up in Dubuque, Iowa. So we're going to take you guys with us and show you around the riverboat. This was a bus trip with Jefferson Tours and Charters, and we got to take our special needs son Joshua with us. He really enjoyed it. So we are downtown LeClaire, Iowa, right on the riverfront. We got here a little early, so we're gonna walk over here to where the Buffalo Bill Museum is. It's inside this building. We're here very early. It's not even 8 o'clock. This museum does not open up until 10. So we're not going to be able to do this today. We're hoping when we come back tomorrow, we'll be able to go inside this museum. Buffalo Bill Museum, Regional History. And it doesn't open till 10. So hopefully we'll be able to see it tomorrow on our way back. This was our first time ever to visit Iowa. We had a little bit of time before we boarded the Twilight, and there she is, sitting on the river, just as the sun is coming up. The riverfront was beautiful, and we enjoyed walking around taking pictures until it was time to board. Very beautiful here on the riverfront. So this is the little dinghy right out in front. And we can sit on the deck, listen to music, and then listen for the announcement, and they'll tell us when we can actually board the ship. How cool is this? It's very beautiful here on the riverfront. Look at that sun just coming up over the Mississippi River. Behind is the actual Riverboat Twilight. It's huge. It's huge. And there goes the banjos.
Second deck, any table that says Jefferson on it.
Okay. Here we go, guys. We're boarding. Hi. The Riverboat Twilight. Good morning. Do we go upstairs?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, it's beautiful. Look at the ceilings. Oh my goodness. It's gorgeous.
Gotta get that caffeine.
We made our way to find our seats while admiring this beautiful riverboat for our 2-day overnight cruise from LeClaire to Dubuque. We got our son seated, then Keith and I went to explore the ship. And of course, we had to do the Titanic pose.
How you guys doing?
Hi, good. Are we allowed to come up here and explore a little bit? Okay.
Absolutely.
level 2. Well, there's an owl over there, probably to keep the birds away from the boats. Birds and bird poop. After the twilight, this is the riverfront. Very pretty riverfront. This is a look at the bar area where you could get a drink.
Well, our most popular drink is actually the Bloody Mary, which is a recipe that's been passed down from multiple bartenders. We also have the pretty popular Lazy River Lemonade too, which is just vodka, blue curacao, and lemonade. Good.
We love riverboat calliope music, and apparently it was pretty loud in this spot. Bye, LeClaire, Iowa. We'll see you tomorrow. Down the mighty Mississippi. This is their breakfast. They have granola. They have fresh baked pastries. Quiche. The food on this riverboat was phenomenal, and it seemed like all we did was eat. They had anything and everything that you would want to eat and drink. Joshua thoroughly enjoyed his biscuits and gravy. There's supposed to be 2 bald eagles. I'm thinking in that tree right there, but I can't see them. I think they're in that big tree there. Well, we're aboard the Riverboat Twilight going down the Mississippi River. We found a shady spot to sit and drink our coffee. It's a beautiful day.
Third one here, but when they built these homes, they knew that they would flood. They have what looks like a normal basement, but it's really just probably an empty concrete shell. Furnaces, water heaters, things like that are probably all up on the second floor on those homes. Now, the rest of these homes that we've been seeing today on our trip, or probably most of them, do not flood. They're not up high enough to flood. They don't flood because we're just above Lock and Dam 14. And being above Lock and Dam 14 is just down there in the bend from our dock. When the water's up a little bit like this, they start taking the dam out of the water, all the way to the point that they completely remove the dam from the water. And when
He said this is the narrowest part of the river and the shallowest part. And on the other side of those buoys, said you could walk to shore and probably not even get your hair wet. That's how shallow it is over there.
Is it okay to come up here and film a bit or not?
Sure, come on up.
Let me get a picture of you on here.
Where are you from?
Indiana. So how long have you been the pilot?
I've had my license now for 43 years.
43 years. Wow, you've been doing this a long time. Tell me a little bit about this wheel. I mean,
So the wheel is 7 foot across. Some of the old steamboats actually had a wheel that could be up to 14 feet across. The bigger the boat, the bigger the rudder, the bigger the wheel. So it's more just for leverage. You turn 250 feet of cable that runs all the way down to the rudder and back. So this one's 7 foot across.
7 foot.
And the pedal on the floor is the whistle.
Okay.
Steamboats always had a whistle on the floor. They didn't have a pull whistle. The pull whistle was invented by Walt Disney for the Mickey Mouse cartoon. So the foot whistle was because you couldn't let go of the wheel. You didn't have hydraulic assisted steering. The wheel would be spinning one way or the other, so you always had to have your hands on it. So you couldn't really let go to pull a wheel or whistle. You had to do it with your foot.
Okay. And this gold thing in the middle, is it just kind of...
That's the speed control for the propellers.
Okay.
So it speeds the flaps up or slows them down.
The captain was so welcoming, allowing us to come take a peek inside the pilot house.
By writing a note on a card, dropping it into the little box on each of the decks.
Bald eagle.
Ask the captain question.
On top of this sand pile.
I'll try to get an answer. This one is, how much training do you need to become a Mississippi River captain? And you have to have 4,500 hours. So that's at least 5 and about 6 years here on the river.
We took a walk down to see the gift shop. It was very noisy on this level of the ship. It was the lower level. They had all kinds of t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, hats, anything and everything you could want with Twilight. We got our son a t-shirt. We enjoyed seeing the homes all along the Mississippi River. I'm sure they cost a pretty penny.
What you'd be dropping off would be powdered cement and fertilizer and molasses here at this location. What you'd be picking up if you were going down would be grain. A lot of these barges on the left-hand side, the ones that is not connected to, are actually loaded with grain and corn or soybeans. Each individual barge holds about 60 to 70 semi-truck loads. That's about 60 to 70,000 bushels of grain in one barge. Put that in a different perspective, there would be about 300 acres of corn in a barge, or 1,200 acres of soybeans in one individual barge. 300 acres of corn or 1,200 acres of soybeans in one barge.
We saw a lot of bald eagles as we floated down the Mississippi. They were so cool to see.
ADM processes over 300,000 bushels of corn every 24 hours at this facility that I'm going to show you in a few minutes on our left-hand side. And the byproduct of that is corn gluten. It's a protein product. And it's dried and it's ground into a fine powder. And they put this powder into barges. They ship it from here to New Orleans. New Orleans is put on ships and it's shipped overseas. And it's basically a very high protein product. Most of it goes to China. And you're going to see the same corn gluten in these barges on the right-hand side under Walmart, Target, Costco, Sam's Club shelves in about 2 to 3 months. Our dog and cat food, the protein in it goes halfway around the world and back just to feed our pets. There's the end of the train up ahead of us here. 1909 was when when this was built. Built in 1909, originally opened with a stationary mounted steam engine on board the bridge. Today they can open it with one 60-horse DC electric motor that was installed in 1916. She just blew the whistle, so she should be swinging the bridge open here shortly. The bridge tender stays in a little house right up in the very center of the bridge. This bridge is available to be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they work 8-hour shifts. There's no running water up in that little house up there, so she has to take anything she needs to drink or use throughout the day up there. This bridge was originally opened with a stationary mounted steam engine on board the bridge. Amazing piece of machinery for sure, that they could swing a piece of iron that big. Short three, pretty cool windmill. And why is that windmill along the banks of the Mississippi? Seems out of place, doesn't it? Actually, this windmill on the right-hand side is perfectly placed here. Fulton, on the right-hand side, used to be a Dutch community, or still is to some extent, founded by the Dutch back in the 1800s. Fulton went over the right-hand side.
Then it was time for our morning snack. They had little pinwheels and fresh fruit. All we did was eat on this cruise, but it was very delicious. We're approaching the first dam and lock that we'll go through. Coming into the lock. Here's the dam. We're coming in. This is lock number 1 that we'll be going through today. This is our first experience of going through the locks. The workers on the side over here. He said that they would tie us off or tie us up. And then I guess they raise the river level, and then you can go on your way. Lock and dam number 13. Okay. Let's look back this way. They're closing the locks behind us. And then once they get those closed, they'll either raise or lower the river level where we are. And then they'll open those so we can go through. Cool to watch. Look at that big dam over there. It's huge. Absolutely huge.
So we're inside of the lock here, and they're closing the lock gates behind us. Once they get in closed, they open 2 valves to the river above. There's no pumping to fill this chamber up. It's just 2 valves they open up, and water runs in here from the river above and raises us up to the level of the river above the lock dam. This lock chamber is 600 feet long and 110 wide.
Well, those are opening now.
Oh, they are. Oh, yeah.
See how those are opening, John? See, they closed those behind us, they raised the river, and now they're opening these and we'll go through. Here we go. Through the locks. How cool is that? Back at the dam over here. There it is behind us.
Off at our left-hand side, more pelicans on this island, directly off on our left. This island used to be completely covered in trees. I mean big trees. Big cottonwood trees, big maple trees, and the little blackbirds, the double-crested cormorants, tore the trees down. Now, how did a little bird tear the tree down? It tore the tree down because it uses its leaves and the small branches to build its nests. These nests, the droppings would fall on the tree and fall on the ground, and they were so acidic they basically killed the vegetation, killed the tree. Windstorms came along, trees were dead, tipped them all over. But by these little blackbirds being here, it has opened up the sand on this island. This is where we saw those first 6 pelicans in 1990. But by opening this sand up, created basically a nesting spot for these birds. You typically do not see these white pelicans without seeing the double-crested cormorants. They'll even fly in V formation back south for the winter together, so these birds kind of have a symbiotic relationship. We've got a few of the lily pads off here on the right-hand side starting to bloom.
And just like that, it's time to eat again. They had a great lunch. Like I said, the food was phenomenal and all we did was eat. This was some sort of mandarin orange fluff. It was amazing.
They'll be swinging this bridge closed right away as soon as we get through, because you can see a train off on the right-hand side waiting to go across the bridge. The train, the track circles way out in the swamps off here on the right-hand side and lines up with the bridge. Now the town on the left-hand side, this is Sebula, Iowa. Sebula is an island out in the middle of the Mississippi River. Never used to be an island, only became an island in the 1930s. When they finished the lock and dam behind us, it raised the water in through here.
Only island community. Right over there. It was so fascinating watching these old bridges swing open and closed. Train getting ready to go across that bridge that just opened up for us. The bridge is now closed. The train can go across. This was a 2-day cruise from LeClaire to Dubuque. All meals were included, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for both days, 1 night of lodging, and an entry into the National Mississippi River Museum, plus return trip were included.
Riverboat Twilight, prettiest boat you'll ever see. Twilight, Riverboat Twilight, there ain't no better place to be. So climb aboard and enjoy the view with the captain and my crew. Days along the river's wide, sit back and enjoy the ride. On the Twilight, Riverboat Twilight, prettiest boat you'll ever see.
Here we are, cruising along the Mississippi River. We're going down to Dubuque, and it's been so enjoyable, just so restful and peaceful. We've learned a lot along the way. Pilot told us different things, and
Had a great time.
Whether you're hungry or not, it's time for afternoon snack. We're ready to go through another lock, and we're going to show you how that all works. This is so interesting. We've had such a great day so far. There's a lock in front of us.
There goes the camera.
I just about fell backwards into the Mississippi River. Not a problem.
So what's going on at the lock up ahead of us here? This towboat is about a 6,000 or 8,000 horsepower towboat ahead of us here. It's the city of Cassville. He has 16 empty barges. Every one of them is empty. They're only sitting in the water about 6 inches to a foot. An empty barge weighs almost 500 tons. He's at the full length that he can actually be and the full number of barges that he can take. He put his first 9 barges in the lock, 3 wide and 3 long at the lock. And then the lock guys raised him up in the lock, and they pulled him out with electric winch and steel cable and tied him up above the lock. Right now, he's gone in with his second 7 barges, and he is gone up in the lock, and he is cabling everything back together. Once he gets them cabled together, he's already dropped his headline. He's going to be leaving the lock and heading upriver here shortly. The dam on our right-hand side, if you noticed, is completely wide open on our right-hand side. They're not holding any water back whatsoever. And you would think they could just open the gates to the lock and we all just keep driving through. It's not possible. The water would be rushing through here almost 15 to 20 miles an hour. And we can't run that fast, and the towboat ahead of us can't run that fast. Against that current, it'd be pretty dangerous also. So they have to still lock us through the lock for safety purposes. The Army Corps of Engineers are the ones that take care of the locks and dams. It's a division of the U.S. Army, and it's a Corps of Engineers, Army Corps of Engineers. They dredge, they do rock work, and they take care of it and repair the locks and dams.
We're sitting here at the second lock, and a barge just went through. And so now it's on the other side. They're getting it hooked all back up. And so we're waiting for our turn for the lock to open and for us to get in the lock chamber. So we're just sitting here waiting for our time to go through the lock. It's opening up. There goes the locks. And then whenever the light turns green, we'll be able to go through and get in the lock chamber. This is so fascinating. We have never had this opportunity before to go through a lock like this. So this is our second one today, and it's just so fascinating.
Doesn't really make any sense.
Green light. Go, go, go. See if we get a peek at the dam over here. Here's the dam, which they said is wide open right now. Because of the river are in the chamber. We'll raise the water level 6 inches and then let us out the other side. This is lock number 12. Here we go. Ay, 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 ay. That's the rope. Please don't snap. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna see if we can see this guy down here working. He's down here. He's the one that tossed the rope. That's pretty cool. Gates are open. We're getting out. That was quick. Super quick. And so fascinating. Josh is over there watching it. Hey, Josh. Hi. We're watching these locks open and close, and here we go. Oh, gosh, that scared me to death. Woo. That scared me half to death. I should have expected it. Once we get through, the locks will once again close. So cool. There's the locks. The guys down there putting all the ropes and everything away. Just gotta wind it back up like it was before. I wouldn't want that job. I'd probably fall in the river. Here we are. We're through the locks. Just like that. Restricted, no boats here to ban.
That went in the 1990s, even though this was built in the 1930s. They cemented it in to relieve pressure on the structure of the dam. They did that because this lock and dam is built the same way Lock and Dam 26 was built, on pilings. Wooden telephone poles driven into the river bottom, thousands of them, and concrete poured on top of that. What they worry about is what happened at Lock and Dam 26. Basically, the telephone poles got waterlogged and the whole structure slid down river 6 inches. That's not a good thing. Put in by Dubuque last summer. When we had that high water last summer, it actually came up really fast, went down really fast, and the water was flowing really fast. So every place you see new rock along here, that's where they had to fix the railroad bed because it got washed away in the flood. They had to do 110 miles of railroad bed. And they didn't fix it from the railroad because it's a single track. They actually fixed it from the river. Well over 100 bargeloads of gravel.
And now it's time for dinner. I told you all we did was eat. Our destination for today is just ahead, Dubuque, Iowa. Here we are entering the ice harbor of Debuque. And we're watching the guys on the side of the ship because there were logs in the water and they were trying to keep them away from the engines. Getting rid of the logs. Engine, I guess. There's the museum and aquarium. And then our hotel is, I think that building right there is our hotel, the gray building with the green and the aquarium. This is Dubuque, Iowa, where we'll spend the night. This is another view of entering the ice harbor. Notice those huge gates as we enter. An ice harbor protects anchored ships from storms and ice coming into the harbor and damaging them. In next week's video, we'll give you a tour and review of the hotel we stayed in while in Dubuque. And there's the Twilight. It truly is a beautiful riverboat. If you would like to see more of our retirement adventures, click the video that just popped up on your screen.